Some people will either love or hate Impressionism art. However, for me, I absolutely love it, and I think that it is a very unique style. And so today I am going to be sharing 3 main reasons on why I love Impressionism art. If you are new here, my name is Hope, and I have been practicing Impressionism painting for a couple of months now. It's something that is kind of new to me, and so far I have been very much enjoying it. My first main reason to why I appreciate this style so much is because it is so different from what we see in reality, meaning a landscape painting doesn't have to look exactly like the reference photo, and I think it's always such a unique thing when people create their own style, and it almost creates like a personal trait for the artist. Like when you go and start to create more and more artwork, you'll start to notice that this artist in particular has a way or has a style of painting. And I've always had thought it's a very important thing to be able to have that as an artist, to understand your style. And for Impressionism art, I've always appreciated how different it actually is than what we see on a day-to-day basis. My number 2 reason is that you get to express your emotions. And this kind of plays back with the first reason, but this one's more of focusing on colors, using different colors to express yourself, or even going as far as trying new tools. There are different types of painting tools other than a paintbrush, and you could play around with a palette knife or different type of wedges or sponges. There's a whole bunch of different types of elements that can be added into an art piece, and I think that in itself can bring and convey an emotion within the piece. And another thing is it's very different, kind of like the first reason I was saying, than what you see, and because of it, it almost just brings in an emotional feel towards that particular piece in general. So if it's like a person that's Impressionism and it has a very unique look to it, it kind of almost then brings the attention towards the artist. Like what were they thinking of when they created this, or how did they come up with such a unique style like that? And a lot of it, I think, does come from how we emotionally feel. And so I think it's a really beautiful thing when you can see that in someone's art. The third and final reason to why I love this style is because you have the freedom to paint. And what I mean by that is you do not have to follow a traditional style, or you don't have to exactly paint each painting the same way over and over again. And that in itself for me is very freeing, because I usually used to paint a lot of realism, like just strictly realism artwork. And I remember I would paint the sky the same way, always the same way. You'd blend it, and then it would be like each step would always be the same thing. I started from the top to the bottom, and then it would be complete by the time I had reached the bottom, is essentially the type of technique that I had learned or that I was doing. And it wasn't until kind of recent, like I was mentioning in the beginning, I've only been doing this for like a couple of months, I broke out of that shell, out of that style. And it was kind of hard, I'm not gonna lie, just because I was so used to doing it a different way. And it almost felt like as if I fell back in love with painting again. Because when I first started, it was, I'm gonna call it realism. It was more on the realism side. And it's what I thought people had wanted, or that would be the most best looking piece of art. And it wasn't until recently that I had started doing Impressionism art that I started realizing, like, you know, I want to have fun while I paint. I want to be able to just do what I want and have that freedom. And that's exactly how, you know, I started feeling. And it's something that I think is one of the main reasons on why I love Impressionism art so much. It is so freeing, it is so fun, and I'm just so happy that I finally had the courage to just change up my style and finally try something new. Something that I also would like to mention, back when I was doing realism and I used to see Impressionism art, the first thing that would come to my mind is, this is such a lazy way of painting. And I just want to come here and say that it is not. This type of painting is nowhere near lazy. And I think the best way to fully understand that is to look into the history, the origins of Impressionism art. And I'm not going to get into it in this video, but if you're interested, you know, let me know, because maybe I will make a video about it, because it is very intriguing. That when you look into the history of where it all started, it makes sense on why it is so appreciated. And it literally changed my whole perspective when I actually started to look into the past and read about what these artists were doing to essentially change the whole art world, changing how everybody was perceiving art, changing how people were creating art. It's just amazing, in my opinion, and it's one of the main reasons what drew me closer to wanting to continue Impressionism art and to try it, and now me continuing to still do it. It's just really cool, and I never would have thought I would have been here, or like this would have been the art style that I eventually would start doing, but it is, and I can't lie, I'm very grateful. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that you've enjoyed it. And if there's something that you love about Impressionism art, go ahead and share about it in the comments. I would love to have a conversation about it. And if you are interested in seeing any of my other art pieces, then I will have links down below for you to click on. That will take you to my art page. And until next time, I will see you, and goodbye.